Hey, what's up, guys? Tom, Seriously Fast Media, and we are going to go over our 2022 NASCAR Chase Grid. Sorry, I had a handful of these printed out. So, obviously, 2022. Scribble that whole thing off. So, these are my picks for the round of 16. I will go into the round of 12, round of 8, round of 4, and champion, as the time comes. But let's analyze what we've already got. So obviously we had the first winner at Daytona, Austin Cindric, followed by Kyle Larson, Chase Briscoe. Since then, we have added 2 wins to William Byron, Ross Chastain, Alex Bowman, Denny Hamlin, and of course Kyle Busch backed into one at Daytona Dirt. So I really I can't jump out and say, hey, for sure this is what's going to happen. That is the reason I did not do I typically do a video where I talk about my expectations for the season and what I think will probably happen. I couldn't do it this year simply because of the next gen car. It has put such a variable in. We have, as you can see, we have 8 different winners in 9 races. And I really don't see that changing too much. So obviously, as you can see, this is the midway point. We are halfway to 16 different winners. If we have 16 different winners total, the regular season champion gets locked in and boots out that 16th winner, lowest on the totem pole. So let's just say Brad Keselowski gets in. He is obviously the absolute lowest on the point standings. I don't really foresee him getting in through points. He absolutely has to get a win, but we do have 2 super speedways, and we know he is kind of taken over for Dale Jr. as the speedway, super speedway ringer for the NASCAR Cup Series since his retirement. We do have 2 more of those win races out there, and I do think we can pick Brad Keselowski in terms of a win. Like I said, regular season champion, if they do not have a win, gets locked in. I don't foresee that being necessary. I don't know if I can say we are going to get 16 different winners this season in the regular season. I can't see it. With that being said, I do see other winners. I see plenty of other winners. I do see Kevin Harvick getting a win. I do see the potential is there for an Eric Jones or a Ty Dillon win. Those guys have been doing really well at Petty GMS. I don't know if I want to mark them down quite yet as a guaranteed winner, as a spot holder. But what I do see is a pretty impressive string of runs from none other than Austin Dillon. I do foresee him getting in. Daniel Suarez, whether he points his way in or gets a win, I do see Suarez as a potential to get into the NASCAR playoffs. Again, it's just so tough with this new car. This car has brought some names that we really didn't think we'd see, especially this early in the season. I figured Briscoe would get a win within the next season or so. Ross Chastain and Suarez, those guys at Trackhouse, have just kind of exploded onto the scene this year. They've done a stellar job, a fantastic job, but I don't foresee them. I don't know if I foresee them getting past the round at 8. Definitely I'm going to have to mark Truex there, as well as Logano. So with just 2 spots remaining in order to be able to make these picks, it's tough. It's a very, very tough decision. There are a lot of drivers out there, and again, you can't foresee that. I mean, heck, this weekend we got a super speedway track. Super speedway tracks can absolutely be unpredictable. Very, very, very difficult to predict. You get surprise winners, first time winners, and it's really, really tough to do. One of the drivers I definitely can check in is Elliott. Chase Elliott can definitely be locked in there. And, you know, I'm kind of wanting to go with Christopher Bell. Christopher Bell has had a pretty decent second portion of so far of the season. I'd say he's got a pretty decent shot of getting in there. Eric Almirola has been on an absolute roll in terms of consistency, scoring a pretty decent number of points. 26 stage points, though. He is less on the lower half, and I did keep track of it, but he is on the lower half of all stage point earners so far this season. But he is in that top 10, excuse me, top 16 area of drivers. I don't know if I foresee that changing. Almirola is doing very well for his final season. I can see an Eric Jones get locked in, potentially on points. I can see again, Ty Dillon potentially on a surprise win. He has had some really good runs, even back in the 13 car. I mean, he's had some decent runs. Got Harrison Burton that could go up there and steal one. I mean, there are so many different drivers, and this is really, really difficult to do, especially this early in the season. Typically, we fill out this top 16 portion here, and what's left for us to fill out is your 12, your 8, your 4, your champion, potential champion. It's really, really tough. So I apologize, I'm kind of talking as I write this, but it's just a really tough decision. You got one more spot in a hyper competitive field here. This is arguably the most competitive we've had in a long time. This car has brought out competition in some drivers who we really didn't think would be out there. Again, Austin Dillon, Daniel Suarez, Brad Keselowski's kind of a tough choice. I would put him a little further down if it meant anything. But I'm still willing to hold my money that Brad goes out there and gets a win. If he gets a win, he can lock himself in, because a win will push him, I believe, over the top 30 in points, which I think he is 31st right now, if I'm not mistaken. Apologize, I am just now getting over being sick. But you know what? I'm going for it. The guy who I definitely think will be locked in, Tyler Reddick. I definitely think Tyler Reddick will be locked in. Now, obviously, things can change. He's run fantastic this season. He was, 30 feet, 20 feet from his first career victory this weekend. Chase Briscoe bumped him coming into that corner, and they both lost it. And obviously, Kyle Busch managed to back into that win. I would have, nonetheless, I would have put Reddick with a win, but I think a win with Reddick, a win with Logano, he's been up there. I think a win with Suarez. Truex will definitely score a win by the end of the season, by the end of the regular season. I think Harvick gets one. Brad Keselowski gets one. I think potential on points is Austin Dillon, and potential on points is Elliott. Elliott has not shown the blistering speed that he's had before. He has shown blatant consistency, absolute blatant consistency, and that is what pretty much locked him into this decision for me. I don't foresee a win. That team has let him down, although he has had some pretty decent speed. He has been competitive, but his team and I just don't know if he's comfortable with the new race car yet. I think he can get a win, but I'm going to lean towards points. I think he points his way in, as right now he is definitely the top of the list. Obviously, I could have picked a number of other drivers. You've got obviously Ryan Blaney, who I really kind of felt weird leaving him off of this list. He's been in the playoffs the last few seasons. He's had typically gets a win every season. Last year was his first breakout season, obviously, scoring multiple wins. Win at Michigan, myself and Michigan Diecast were there. Kyle was there with me. Really cool to see him win in person. I like Ryan Blaney. It's just so difficult to pick some of these guys. I mean, I look at my list here. Christopher Bell, I would feel comfortable putting Christopher Bell on this list. I would love to put Kurt Busch on this list. Out of all of them, I'd think he's probably my driver, I'd say, if I was rooting for one single guy. I'd love to say I could put Kurt Busch on there, but that team is letting him down. I think Bubba Wallace could potentially snag a win at either Daytona or Talladega. Maybe steal one from another race. He's been decent, but that team, again, it's that team that kind of lets me down there. Eric Almirola, again, I think he could point his way in. I think he could win his way in. Christopher Bell. Stenhouse could sneak one out. They've been fairly racy this year. I'd like to see him get a little more consistency under the belt before I'd say that. Justin Haley. I could see Justin Haley going out and snagging one. He's a fantastic super speedway racer. But again, that's another team that needs to get everything kind of situated out before I'm willing to put them on a bet list or anything like this. Anyway, what do you guys think? You guys think I'm nuts here? Do you guys agree with me or not? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching, guys.